hyperglycemia. Okay. What are the features of diabetes? These three things clinically you should know: polyuria, polydipsia, polyphagia. What does they mean? What is polyuria?
Increase urinary.
Increase in urine. Polydipsia is yeah. Polydipsia is thirsting. Polyphagia is
Eating.
increase eating. Okay.
Polyphagia is for both hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia.
Yeah. Polyphagia. Yeah, you raised a very good question. What is diabetes actually?
Inability to maintain blood glucose.
Yeah, that is inability to maintain blood glucose. See, the glucose, it should enter the cell for proper functioning of cell. So what is happening in diabetes, because of the lack of insulin, this glucose is not entering the cell. So if you say diabetes is extracellular hyperglycemia, that means outside the cell there is increased glucose. Outside the cell means it will be blood only, okay? So outside the cell it is increased glucose, but inside the cell it is hypo. So some doctors, they describe diabetes as extracellular hyperglycemia, intracellular hypoglycemia. Okay? What should be the cutoff? What is the normal glucose level?
70.
70 to
100.
But to say it is diabetes, the blood glucose level should be random, it should be more than 200 or equal to 200. Fasting it should be 126. And what is OGTT?
It's this. What?
Oral glucose tolerance test.
This.
So if you have seen any patient, he has done his glucose tolerance, you can know. You just ask his test report. So what you will get 4 or 5 values of blood glucose level.
6.
6. Okay? So how it is done? Early morning, the patient is asked to come.
Fasting.
Yeah, fasting glucose. You know, doctor will take fasting glucose. After that, he is given 50 or 75 grams of glucose. And after half an hour, 1 hour, half an hour, another half an hour like this, repeated samples are taken. So why it is taken like this?
What?
Why the repeated samples are taken? These samples are taken to check what is the behavior of glucose for this patient. If the patient is secreting, see, once we eat food, insulin is secreted, that insulin will act on food. So the glucose initially it will rise, after that it will come down to normal. This is for us, the normal people. For diabetes patient, what will happen? If you give glucose, there is no insulin. So what will happen? It will rise. And it will keep on rising. Actually, after 2 hours, it should, 1.5 to 2 hours, it should come down. Since there is no insulin, it will not come down. So this behavior is studied by this test, behavior of glucose. Okay? It is called oral glucose tolerance test. That means the patient is able to tolerate glucose or not. Okay? This is just because our objective, remember, this is just to know you, to understand better the complications. The objective for our lecture is only complication. But before that, you should know what is happening actually. This is just the epidemic. How much population is affected? 3% of world population is affected. What is the incidence in Saudi? This is homework for you.
What?
Go to Ministry of Health site or some other site and check what is the incidence of diabetes in Saudi Arabia. Worldwide incidence, 3% of the world population is affected. Incidence is increasing. And what is the incidence in Saudi Arabia? Okay? Yeah, it is high, but how much percentage?
Each for
50%.
No,
25.
It's 50, I think.
25 years. 25 years.
More than
50.
50? So out of 2, 1 is affected. That means half of this class is affected.
أكثر.
it is not.
كان يقول
I think
15.
it doesn't trace. Okay, this is homework for you. You should know how many patients are there. Okay, what are the effects of hormone? Yesterday, I think there was class going on. What is action of insulin? What is action of glucagon? Yeah, this is just to summarize. Remember this: the action of insulin is to lower the glucose level. All other hormones, the action is to increase. Yeah, anti-insulin. These are the actions. Okay, one is on adipose tissue, second is on muscle, and third is on liver. Okay, adipose tissue, what it will do? Increase glucose uptake, lipogenesis, and decrease lipolysis. And on striated muscle, all are increased. Increase uptake, increase glycogen synthesis, increase protein synthesis. And on liver, what is gluconeogenesis?
Decrease.
Yeah, very good. It is the formation of glucose other than
Carbohydrate.
yeah. And what is glycogen synthesis? Synthesis of
Glycogen.
glycogen. What is glycogen?
Glucose.
Yeah, glucose. Stored form. Yeah. Lipogenesis? Lipids. So for this reason, you will see a patient who is very obese. If he has developed diabetes after 4 or 5 years, how it will be? He will become thin. Why? Because there is no lipogenesis and increase lipolysis due to decreased insulin. Yeah, that is also. Okay, what are the types? One and two. What is one?
It's like absence of insulin.
Yeah, it is absolute deficiency of insulin. So, because you are now doctor, you should not use these terms, complete or incomplete. It is absolute or relative. So absolute means complete deficiency of insulin. The main cause is autoimmune. And second type is NIDDM or adult onset. Okay. Insulin IDDM is insulin dependent diabetes. It is only 10%, whereas whatever the vast majority of the patients comes under NIDDM, non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus, 80 to 90%. This is the primary. There are some secondary causes also. Because of that, there is insulin deficiency. Any condition which leads to pancreatic damage, like pancreatitis, tumors of pancreas, infections, drugs, all these conditions, it will lead to damage in pancreas. Secondary to other disease, that is, pancreas get damaged here, and there will be diabetes. Okay, type 1, type 2. Did anybody discuss this physiology or biochemistry? No? Okay. So type 1 is absolute deficiency. That means there is no insulin. The cause is autoimmune. Because of this autoimmune, you know what is autoimmune? Autoimmune. The body itself becomes against.
Antibodies against beta cells.
Yeah, antibody against the beta cells. Because of that, there will be beta cell destruction. Once the beta cells they get destroyed, there won't be any insulin secretion. Whereas for type 2, it is peripheral resistance to insulin. 50 to 90% in identical twins approximately. So this is under heredity control. So type 2. So for example, if father is having insulin, there are more chances son or daughter will have diabetes. Okay? If father is having diabetes, there are more chances his son will also have diabetes.
This doctor? Which type?
Type 2. It is type 2, remember this.
Doctor, type 1 is associated with, is induced by virus infections.
الفارما الأولى نقص ثاني resistant.
These are the differences between type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is less common, type 2 is more common, and you can see children are more affected. Anyhow, because since there is no insulin, so it will occur at the young age. So children less than 20 years, here in adults more than 20 years. HLA associated, there are some genes, diabetic and obesity genes. Insulin dependent, insulin independent. There will be acute metabolic complication, chronic vascular complication. What do you mean by acute metabolic complications? Diabetes ketoacidosis. Yeah, that is a metabolic complication. Vascular complication, chronic vascular complications.
Atherosclerosis.
Yeah, atherosclerosis. Good. Autoantibodies is present here, absent here. Family history, it is not needed here, but here there is a strong family history. Type 2 diabetes. Insulin levels are low here normal, or it can be high. So what is the problem in type 2?
Resistance,
Yeah, it
receptor.
is a resistance. Insulin is there, but it is not active. Islets, what is insulitis?
Inflammation.
Inflammation of islets. Here it can be focal atrophy or amyloid. This is the pathogenesis of type 1. So what will happen due to genetic predisposition or susceptibility? But the most important is autoimmunity here. Because of this autoimmunity, there is lymphocyte infiltration, and because of this autoimmunity, there will be antibodies against the islets. Islets have antibodies, and this is cell-mediated immunity. Because of these antibodies, antigen-antibody reaction occurs, and there will be destruction of beta cells. Once beta cells are destroyed, there is no lack of insulin and insulin-dependent diabetes. So any patient who is having, you can see a small child who is having diabetes, daily he should take insulin because there is no insulin. Adults, they can manage with exercise or they can manage with oral hypoglycemic drug, and if it is not controlled, then only they will take insulin. Whereas for children, since there is no insulin, he has to take insulin as a treatment.
Is it possible that adults develop type 1?
Adults, I told you the secondary causes. If he is having secondary causes, because of this prolonged insulin resistance, sometimes amyloid will get deposited in the islets. Once amyloid is there in the islets get destroyed, and then again he has to
Compared
take
to type 1.
insulin.
So type 2.
Yeah, but type 1, but it is more common in children only. Type 1. Okay, this is the pathogenesis for type 2. Obesity, genetic predisposition. What is the cause of diabetes in obese people? Any patient who is very fat,
Hyperlipidemia.
yeah, hyperlipidemia, it will lead to,
Circulation first.
yeah. So in that there are 2 or 3 factors are there. What are those? No, not glucagon. In obese people. Yeah, very good. Increased free fatty acids that will lead to peripheral tissue resistance, inadequate glucose utilization. Once there is inadequate glucose utilization, there will be hyperglycemia. It is glycemia. Hyperglycemia, beta cell exhaustion, type 2 diabetes. Is it clear? Pathogenesis of type 1 and type 2.
What?
Type 1, there is autoimmunity, autoantibodies. Those antibodies, they are destroying the beta cells, and that is called insulin deficiency. Type 2, because of environmental influence, obesity, and because of obesity, their free fatty acid levels are increased, and that is causing resistance to insulin. Insulin is unable to act on the peripheral tissues. Okay? Because of that, there will be indirectly beta cell exhaustion. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But in the schedule, you said type 2, there is no related to the genetic things.
Type 4 is not very good. Type 2 is genetic.
But can you, can you previous slide? No pathogenesis of type 1.
Clear?
Okay. No, clear, okay.
Okay, now comes our topic. From here, our topic is starting. All that is general discussion. Complication. What do you mean by complication? You will see it at many places. Any disease which is not controlled properly or it is not treated properly, that will land up in complication. So complication, it can be early, it can be late. Any disease, if it is not controlled properly or if it is not treated properly, the patient will have complication of that disease. Okay? Yeah. To stop the patient from getting complications, you have to treat the patient. So in diabetes, the complication, any disease, the complication is like this. It will be early and late. Early complication, usually it is metabolic. Diabetic, just remember these three words. Diabetic ketoacidosis, diabetic coma, lactic acidosis. Okay? Our objective mainly is, we have to discuss these two. Okay? These late complications, these are the late complications. Insulitis and amyloidosis, macroangiopathy. What do you mean by macroangiopathy? Large and medium sized blood vessels are affected. That is called macro, MA. Micro means capillaries. Okay? This also will come at many places. Microangiopathy will be written, mentioned like this only. So micro means capillary and macro means large and medium sized blood vessels.
Angiopathy.
Angio means blood vessels. Pathy means
Rajmat.
pathy means any problem,
Disease.
or destruction, anything you can take, or disease. So macro means large blood vessels are affected, or disease of the large blood vessel, macroangiopathy. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes.
Macro and micro, remember this. After that, you have to check where in the body where these blood vessels are located, that will be affected. For example, blood vessels, large blood vessels are affected in heart. Yeah, very good. Aorta is there, or the coronary blood vessels, or this comes under large and medium sized blood vessels. Okay? So if these are affected, then what is you will call that? That is called atherosclerosis. CVS is this year or first year?
Yeah, we know that.
Cardio. Okay. Again you will see. Just remember this, atherosclerosis. That means large and medium sized blood vessels are affected. So the most common area will be heart. Okay? Coronary blood vessels. For that reason, you will see heart attack is more common in diabetic patients. Right?
Therefore,
Yeah, atherosclerosis is common. Second thing, they will develop hypertension. So hypertension and diabetes, both it will create increased atherosclerosis, and that will cause myocardial infarction and ischemia, all these things. Micro means capillaries are affected. So where these capillaries, that means small blood vessels are there in the eye. Okay, in the eye there will be minute blood vessels, capillaries are there. So it is called retinopathy. The blood vessels supplying the retina of the eye that are affected. And you will see small blood vessels in the glomerulus of the kidney. So it is called diabetic nephropathy. You will see these small blood vessels supplying the nerves.
Nerves.
Yeah, very good. Nerves. So if nerves are affected, it is called neuropathy. So see, remember these three words: nephropathy, retinopathy, neuropathy. So we are going to discuss these four topics now: atherosclerosis, nephropathy, retinopathy, and neuropathy. This is just a diagram to show what are the problems the diabetic patient will have. For example, if there are cerebral inside the brain, he will have cerebrovascular infarcts and hemorrhage. Eye, there will be retinopathy, hypertension, atherosclerosis, nephrosclerosis. Yes, and this is an overview. Okay, what is the pathogenesis of these complications? So what is happening? Why these complications are occurring, you should remember this. So for this, you should know these three pathways. These three pathways, remember this. One is advanced glycation end products, AGES. Second is activation of protein kinase. Third is intracellular hyperglycemia with disturbance of polyol pathway. Okay. What is the function of AGES? Advanced glycation end products. Okay. So non-enzymatic glycosylation, all this I think very much people will again discuss. Okay. just remember these three in pathogenesis. Advanced glycation end product, activation of protein kinase, and intracellular hyperglycemia. If protein kinase is activated, it will cause inflammatory reaction. You know, acute and chronic inflammation. So whatever we see in chronic inflammation, the same thing will happen if there is activation of protein kinase, because protein kinase C, it will activate cytokines. I think in chronic inflammation mediators we have discussed this. Cytokines. Yeah. Yeah, that is a part. But here we are concerned about the fibrosis and the deposition of collagen. You know, what will happen in chronic inflammation at the end. So that happens because of this activation of protein kinase C. Intracellular hyperglycemia, if glucose is more inside the cell, what will happen? It will activate a separate pathway, sorbitol pathway, and if sorbitol is accumulated in the cell, what will happen? It will cause cell injury and oxidative stress. You know this? Cell injury, mechanism of cell injury, environment. Yeah. So that is all because of this. Okay? So just remember these names. Advanced AGES, advanced glycation end product, activation of protein kinase, and intracellular hyperglycemia leading to increased sorbitol. So this is for the pathogenesis of complications. So what will happen if there is no insulin in adipose tissue? What will happen? There is increased lipolysis. Okay, in muscle what will happen? In muscle there will be increased protein catabolism. Yeah. In liver what will happen?
Gluconeogenesis.
Yeah.
Gluconeogenesis.
Yes.
Can
See,
you
Yeah.
gluconeogenesis is there because of insulin.
Glycogenesis because of insulin. Glyconeogenesis inhibited by insulin.
Inhibited by
Insulin.
So if insulin is not there,
Increase in gluconeogenesis.
gluconeogenesis. So what will happen? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for that is the cause for ketoacidosis. Okay? Yeah. Is it clear? So these are the three actions mainly. So what will happen if keto acids they enter the kidney, they will damage the kidney, and that will cause polyuria, the cause of polyuria. Okay, again we will discuss this individually. Okay, what is happening?
شاوركم روح.
Yeah, just listen here. So in type 1, what is the pathogenesis? It is leukocyte autoimmunity. Autoimmunity means leukocyte infiltration. Leukocyte infiltration means there will be increased lymphocytes in the pancreas. So this is leukocyte infiltration. Okay, of islets. Only the islet part is affected. Remember this. We are not discussing about the exocrine. There is exocrine part also. Second thing is loss of beta cells. That is amyloid deposit. What is amyloid deposit?
That's secreted.
I told you.
Yeah.
Protein kinase C. Yeah, it is a substance, proteinaceous material deposited. At the end, it will be what it is? It is a proteinaceous pinkish material. So all this is due to increased protein kinase C. It is a pro-inflammatory cytokine. So if you just remember this, amyloid deposit for type 2, that too it is a late complication. It will never happen in early. It is a late complication. So two things, type 1, leukocyte infiltration, type 2, amyloid deposit. What is this? This is aorta. This is large blood vessels. So this will be an example of macroangiopathy. Large blood vessels are affected. It can be aorta, it can be coronary arteries. In CVS, again we are going to discuss this in detail. What is fatty streak, what is atheroma, all these things. So it is a complication of diabetes. Fatty dots, it is nothing but lipid deposit. Atheroma plaques, lipid deposit along with inflammatory cells. And complicated means if this atheroma it ruptures, what will happen? It will become an embolus and travel along the blood vessels. That is called complicated atheromatous plaque. So what will happen? There will be accelerated atherosclerosis. Aorta and large and medium sized arteries are affected. Atherosclerosis of coronary arteries is most common. Myocardial infarction, gangrene. What is gangrene?
Decrease the blood supply.
Peripheral.
Ischemic.
Decreased.
Ischemia. It is ischemia. And that ischemia is due to diabetes. So it is called diabetic gangrene. So these are examples of macroangiopathy. If large blood vessels are affected, you will have all these features.
You have to train those with the diabetic forms.
Yeah, diabetic. That is also happening with diabetes.
It causes gangrene by blocking blood vessels or by activating the coagulant factors.
No, it is not blood vessels. Micro? It is macro. Large blood vessels are affected, it will be macro. If small blood vessels are affected, it will be micro, capillaries. See, gangrene is this. One more is there will be a neuropathy also. In neuropathy also, hand and foot is affected. And that neuropathy will also lead to gangrene and other things. So this neuropathy is microangiopathy. So what is happening in
A blockage of arteries by fat or by what?
fat and it will cause atherosclerosis. Okay. In microangiopathy, what will happen? There will be thickening of basement membrane of capillaries. You know capillaries? Yes. Capillaries. The cells of the capillaries they rest on basement membrane. So that basement membrane is thickened. Basal lamina thickened by concentric layers of. How it is thickening is there? It is due to deposition of collagen. So once it is deposited, the blood vessels become leaky. That means the fluid it will go freely. So this is the pathogenesis. This is the pathology of microangiopathy. Thickening of basement membrane due to deposition of collagen, and the capillaries become more leaky to plasma protein. Okay. What happens in diabetic nephropathy? That means kidneys. So kidneys are affected. So one is what are the parts of the kidney you should know? Nephron, glomerulus. Second thing is blood vessels, and third thing is the interstitium surrounding the blood vessels, whatever it is. So in glomerulus, what is happening? There is basement membrane thickening and glomerulosclerosis. Sclerosis means fibrosis. Wherever sclerosis comes, it is nothing but fibrosis. So I told you, since it is chronic inflammation, you will have fibrosis. This fibrosis, here it is called nephrosclerosis, glomerulosclerosis. For this glomerulosclerosis, it can be diffuse. That means the whole glomerulus can be affected, or only a part of glomerulus will be affected. So if the whole glomerulus is affected, it is called diffuse. If part is affected, it is called nodular. Okay? Second thing is renal vascular, hyaline arteriosclerosis. Arteriosclerosis due to deposition of hyaline. What is hyaline? Yes. Third is pyelonephritis and necrotizing papillitis. I will show you. This is a picture of glomerulosclerosis. You can see this. Okay. This is glomerulus. This whole part. Increase in matrix with mesangial proliferation, basement membrane thickening, nephrotic syndrome. These are the features. Can you see this part? Okay, this is glomerulus, and the whole glomerulus is pinkish. This pinkish thing inside the glomerulus is basement membrane thickening. So since the whole glomerulus is affected, it is called diffuse glomerulosclerosis. Is it clear?
Diffuse glomerulosclerosis, that means all glomerulus
Yeah, all. All glomerulus will be affected. Here you can see this is also glomerulus. This part is pinkish, this part is pinkish, whereas all these are only cells. It is not pink like this. Can you see any pink material here like this? So only part of glomerulus is affected. So it is called nodular glomerulosclerosis. And if you see this nodular deposit, it is called Kimmelstein-Wilson lesion. And if you see this, like this structure, that means the patient is having diabetic nephropathy. It is pathognomonic. This is pathognomonic. That means pathologically it is proved this patient is having diabetes. Okay? You can see here, nodules of pink highlight material. And if you want to highlight this, there is a stain called PAS, periodic acid shift PAS stain. Diffuse and nodular, is it clear? There are two types, diffuse glomerulosclerosis, nodular glomerulosclerosis. Third thing, hyaline arteriosclerosis, amorphous hyaline thickening of the wall of arterioles, which causes narrowing of lumen. Hyaline material, plasma membrane and basement membrane material affect both arterioles. What do you mean by both arterioles? You are seeing here. Affect both arterioles only in diabetes. You know, glomerulus is like this stuff. One artery is entering, another arteriole is coming. One is afferent, second is efferent. So both of these are affected in diabetes. You can see this. It is not clear here. The one arteriole will enter from here. That's why there is pinkish hyaline membrane here. Okay, this is called hyaline arteriosclerosis, the arrow. Next, what is this? The third feature of diabetic nephropathy is pyelonephritis. Pyelonephritis means, you know, the nephron has glomerulus, blood vessels, and then tubules. Ascending, descending, all these tubules are there. So in between these tubules, you will see inflammatory cells. So any inflammation of these tubules, see, all these are the tubules of the kidney, and in between these tubules you are seeing these dots. These dots are chronic inflammatory cells, lymphocytes. So this is called pyelonephritis. Okay, inflammation. So if there is chronic inflammatory cells, you will have purulent exudate with tubular destruction and abscess formation. You know what is inflammation? What happens in inflammation if it is not treated? Acute will go into chronic, and then there will be necrosis or abscess formation. All these things. There can be destruction. So all these are the features you are seeing here because of the protein kinase C stimulating inflammatory cytokines. Remember this. That is the pathogenesis, and this is the morphology. Okay? You will see inflammatory cells with tubular destruction and abscess formation. Capillary necrosis means, you know what is kidney? Structure of kidney.
No.
Oh, this is a big problem. Yeah, from your faces it is there. And observing. Okay, just remember this, kidney have a functional unit. Each organ will have functional unit, you know.
Nephron.
Yeah, the functional unit of kidney is nephron. Nephron contains glomerulus, blood vessels and tubules. Okay? Glomerulus we have seen now.
Yeah.
Diffuse and nodular glomerulosclerosis. Blood vessels, hyaline thickening, hyaline arteriosclerosis. What is left? Tubules. So in diabetes, what is happening to tubules? There is inflammation of the tubules. That is called pyelonephritis. Okay?
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Pyelonephritis, which causes tubular destruction. This papilla, if you see this is all you are seeing here. This, at the end of this tubule, you will have a projection that is called papilla. Okay? So there will be necrosis of that papilla, and that necrosis, the pathogenesis is the same, destruction by pyelonephritis. Is it clear? Nephropathy? Okay, ocular complications, you know, eye contain very small blood vessels. The same arteriosclerosis happen there. There will be retinopathy, that means retina is affected, glaucoma,
Yeah.
increase in intraocular tension. Yeah. And cataract means
Why?
yeah. The lens which you are seeing, it is normally it is clear. Whereas if that becomes opaque, white in color, it is called cataract. So macroangiopathy, loss of capillary pericytes, focal weakening of capillary structure. So any problem inside the blood vessels of the retina, what will happen? The blood vessels become weak. So the plasma protein, all this thing, all the blood
Campus.
will come out. So what will happen? There will be hemorrhage inside the retina. So these are the features. What do you mean by microaneurysm? Aneurysm is, yeah, since the blood vessels are weak, they dilate. So it is called aneurysm. Since the small blood vessels are affected, it is called microaneurysm. Blood to blood hemorrhages. Yeah. Blood vessels, they are very weak. So whenever there is blood enters, they dilate like this.
But that should be thickening. Thickening of blood vessels.
Thickening?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be thickening, but more often it is the weak. The blood vessels become very weak. See this, here the pathogenesis, loss of capillary pericytes. Pericytes means surrounding the capillaries, they are smooth muscle cells. Because of that, there is strength to these capillaries. So if there are no smooth muscle cells, pericytes, what will happen? They will be weakening of capillaries. Okay, so these are the small dots are microaneurysms. Second thing you are seeing is blood to blood hemorrhages. See, the blood, it comes out of the blood vessels and it forms hemorrhage. Okay, along with blood, what else is there? Blood contains cells and plasma protein. Okay, so this exudate also comes out. So this exudate, it forms hard and soft exudate. You can see here, hard and soft exudate, cotton bone infarct. These are the names given. Yes.
Where exactly?
Yeah.
Front of the eye or?
If you see inside the eye by retinoscope or ophthalmoscope, you will see all these things.
Grossly you can see it?
Yeah, from the ophthalmoscope you can see.
Grossly.
No, not naked eye, through ophthalmoscope. Because you are saying, see the black one is iris. Okay? Inside the black one there is pupil. Anything is there, you have to see through that pupil. So ophthalmoscope, it will, first the ophthalmologist will dilate that pupil become enlarged, then through the ophthalmoscope he will see. That is a magnified lens. So from that he will see, and he will see all these things. Hemorrhage, exudate, microaneurysm, all these are features of diabetic retinopathy. Glaucoma.
Huh?
Okay, neuropathy.
بتقول له أشياء قلبية
Just like other organs, even the nerve is affected. Once the nerve affects, there is increased permeability of capillaries. Peripheral symmetric neuropathy affect both sensory and motor. Whatever neuron is affected, that function will also get affected, and you will have foot drop or wrist drop, all these things. This ulcer is due to neuropathic ulcer. Why it is called neuropathic ulcer? There is no trauma here. What will happen because of the neuropathy? The sensations are lost. So it is also called disuse or misuse atrophy. So suppose we are just keeping our foot on hot ground. We immediately will remove it. Why? Because we are we are able to sense that. Since the sensations are lost here, the patient where he is walking or where he is keeping his foot, it is not, he is unaware of that. Because of that, there will be ulcer. This is called diabetic neuropathic ulcer. What happened in liver? Free fatty acids. Fatty acids are increased, so the liver becomes fatty liver, and this is nothing but fatty liver. There is accumulation of fat inside the liver. What is this? Fungal infection. Diabetic also affect the skin. So the most common infection is fungal infection. Okay,
Huh?
thank you.
ايه
So, I think,
ها